welcome to our cover story conversation with Suhel Seth, political commentator, marketing maven, and a columnist. But today, Suhel, I'm going to be talking to you about something that you know very well, political branding. You've done Sheila Dikshit's campaign, you've been with Vajpayee, you've been with various political leaders. But I think if you were asked to advise the Congress party, what are they doing wrong? What are they doing wrong in their messaging, their branding?
They need to get rid of Rahul Gandhi. There is no question in my mind. And I say it with a great amount of responsibility and with a lot of respect for him as an individual. I think he's just not cut out for it. He's not cut out mentally. He's not cut out attitudinally. He's not cut out strategically. He is an unmitigated disaster. If you remember, on your program, after the first Bharat Jodo Yatra, I said,
I was going to remind you of that.
That Rahul Gandhi has come into his own. But I was wrong. And what had happened was, he, I think, let hubris take over, because that Bharat Jodo Yatra gave him so much of impetus, so much of importance, so much of credibility, that he began to believe he was infallible. And let me tell you why Rahul Gandhi is bad for the Congress. Number one, he's bad for the Congress because the country does not see entitlement as a virtue anymore. The country has moved on. India has changed. No one remembers the sacrifices that his valiant grandmother or his great dad made. No one cares. No one remembers. Remember, Indira Gandhi was assassinated on October 31, 1984. More than 40 years have passed. People don't remember. The guy was 18, 20, 25, 26, doesn't even remember Rajiv Gandhi. Yeah. So that's number one. Number two, Narendra Modi is not only an astute politician, at times he is viciously vitriolic as well. And in his playing to the gallery, he's able to plant seeds of continuing discontent with the family. You see, here's the irony. The BJP has its own share of dynasts.
Correct.
But the Congress is seen as the dynastic party. Narendra Modi never says that about Mulayam Singh Yadav. He never says that about Lalu Prasad Yadav. Can you imagine Lalu Yadav actually planted his wife when he went to jail? I mean, what can be more ironic about dynastic politics than that? But Modi never brings that up. There's almost a kind of mania that Modi has about the Gandhi family, for whatever reason, and he's entitled to have it. The second is that Rahul Gandhi is becoming more and more of an activist. And you know why? Because the left liberals, the wokes, the so-called academia love him. They love him because he's taking potshots at Modi, who they hate. The problem is they hate Modi because he's Narendra Modi. They have no reasons to hate him. I mean, they may have, but there aren't very compelling reasons to hate Modi. I mean, let's take Modi's career for example. When Godhra happened, everyone was aghast, all of us. But he was exonerated by the Supreme Court, no less, in a time when the Gandhis were in power. So one can't even say that there was coercion, there was subjugation, there was, influence that was used. The Congress was in power. There were various commissions of inquiry that were established. None of them found him guilty. Then what happens? He wins two, not one, he wins two general elections. Number three, he's the most popular politician, pan-India. Now, you might want to change the word popular with well-known. I'm fine with that. Where does that leave Rahul Gandhi? A, B, Rahul Gandhi's mother, when she sacrificed, the so-called sacrifice, and made Manmohan Singh Prime Minister, it made for good optics. Rahul Gandhi's behavior qua his party members is not kosher. He let go of a Hemanta Biswa Sarma because he was so keen to feed his dog some biscuits. His whole attitude reeks of entitlement. Ki bhai, main Rahul Gandhi, jo main bol raha hu, wohi sahi hai. Those days are over. The tragedy is, his people, his coterie doesn't want to tell him the truth. But if they tell him the truth, they'll also be isolated. Look at the way he treats people. Milind Deora said not one nasty word about him when he left. What was the need for him to say, we don't need people like it's good that they've left. Why? So he lacks grace, he lacks dignity, he lacks gravitas. The lacking of gravitas happened when Manmohan Singh was taking gingerly steps to the Oval Office and Rahul Gandhi was tearing up the ordinance at the Press Club of India. So nothing has changed. But meanwhile, the country has changed. The people have changed. And the Gandhis have become a symbol, whether right or wrong. You and I can't be the jury on that. They have become the symbols of everything that ails India or ailed India. And Modi has captured that brilliantly. What does he say? They stood for corruption. They stood for selfishness, not selflessness. They stood for money. They didn't stand for national wealth. They stole, not that they shared. And they created a Lutyens Delhi. I mean, all these guys, including Modi, are living in Lutyens Delhi.
Right.
But but the tragedy, Priya, is Modi's been able to spin it. Rahul Gandhi has poor advisors and a weak brain. And let me tell you, I say this again with grave responsibility. I don't think Rahul Gandhi is intelligent. He's not even street smart. And I'll tell you why I say this.
There's a difference between the two.
If you're intelligent, you approach things through the prism of strategy, not the prism of tactics. If you're street smart, then you take on the prime minister. I'll give you a small example. Ayodhya happened on January 22, 2024. The Yatra had begun.
Right.
What prevented Rahul Gandhi from taking 10,000 Congress workers going to Ayodhya? He wouldn't have been allowed in. He would have made that into a huge statement and said, "Hum bhi Ram Lalla ke Sharanarthi hain ya pilgrims hain." You have taken the wind out of everyone's sails. What do you now come across as? In a majority Hindu country, you come across as anti-Ram, therefore anti-Hindu. His utterances may be out of respect. He may be challenging. Then you keep abusing Adani, Ambani, Adani, Ambani. Have you been able to give one job? No. Whose aircrafts did you fly? Theirs. Who did the Congress party get funding from? Them. Who's the hypocrite? Your party. Who's signing the MOUs? Your state governments. So people then begin to say, कि ये आदमी पागल हो गया. And you know, when you doubt a person's intellect, then you doubt everything that that person says. So his believability has suffered. His credibility has suffered. He's the poster boy for memes, for jokes, for WhatsApp forwards. So who's going to take him seriously? You tell me, will you go back home and tell your family that I voted for Rahul Gandhi and be the butt of all jokes? You won't. Even if you silently do, you will not admit to it.
This used to happen with Modi earlier. I remember the first election.
Absolutely.
A lot of people voted for Modi and didn't let on their voted
They didn't
for
say
Modi.
it. They didn't say it. Now let's come to the party. I have never seen the grand old party disintegrate this way. And the people around are bright. They're not stupid. Pawan Khera cut his teeth with Sheila Dikshit. He's sharp. Jairam Ramesh is not stupid by any stretch. But I don't know what's happening. You make Kharge the president. There is no question that Kharge is the Mukhota. Rahul Gandhi is still calling the shots. Sonia Gandhi is still calling the shots. Smriti Irani gave a superb challenge to them, excuse me, day before yesterday, on January 19, when she said, look, I will challenge him in Amethi, and I will make sure that he's dwarfed in Amethi. You know, if you're a great believer in chess, and Rahul Gandhi doesn't need to learn chess, he should just watch Satyajit Ray's Shatranj Ke Khiladi, or the chess players. Chess is about predictive intelligence. It is not about responsive intelligence. You must be able to predict कि भाई अगर आदमी की ये सहानुभूति है या ये intellect है, what are the moves that that person is going to plan or chart? He lacks that. So you tell me, when you're up against an 18-hour workaholic like Narendra Modi, who, by the way, is absolutely assiduously building his own legacy and his own image, where do you stand a chance if you don't shift the battleground? And wherever you're shifting the battleground, it's as if you're attacking India. The statement about Varanasi, to say that people were lying drunk, who's going to believe you? A, B, why would you want to upset a whole voter base in Varanasi? कि भाई ये तो हमको शराबी समझता है. There's a difference between a dialogue from Sholay and responsible dialoguing with your electorate. Rahul Gandhi hasn't realized that. He behaves like, I hate to use the word, it's the Mawali way of talking. अरे उनको क्या मालूम है, देखो शराब पिया हुआ था एकदम. People are looking at their leaders with a sense of gravitas. And I've said this on your program before. There were many occasions that Rahul Gandhi could have taken the wind out of Modi's sails just by some clever flanking strategies of outreach. He's done neither. I'll give you a personal example. 2013, a very dear friend of mine, Lionel Barber, who was the then editor of the Financial Times, sent an email to me saying, I want to meet Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi. We want to do it long format interview. I forwarded that same email to Rahul Gandhi's office and to Narendra Modi's office. Narendra Modi's office responded in 12 minutes. Rahul Gandhi never responded. 12 minutes. Rahul Gandhi didn't respond. So what happened? An article appeared with Narendra Modi's interview. There was no interview of Rahul Gandhi. Now, when you begin to feel that you're above everything, you're above the law, you're above accountability, you're above the virtues of credibility, your wiggling room is totally diminished. Your maneuverability is totally exhausted. And your mental capacities are extinguished. आप करोगे तो करोगे क्या? जाओगे तो जाओगे कहाँ? Now you tell me, Priya, whether you like it or not, the Congress is the pivot of the alliance. When Mamata Banerjee speaks so badly about you in such an unruly, denigrating manner that Congress will not even be able to get 40 seats, shouldn't you have reached out to her? Knowing how mercurial she is, how temperamental she is, how short-strung she is, high-strung and short-tempered. Well, before your yatra, you would have made her an ally. The same with Akhilesh Yadav. So I'm unable to understand what his game plan is. To my mind, his game plan is to destroy the Congress. Whether he wants to destroy it or not is another matter, but it is going to happen. And it is already happening. People are leaving the party. Even in the corporate world, there's a goddamn exit interview. Here, no one cares. You must be RSS. We don't want you. All these years you wanted them. There must be certain grace. And I have to say, tragically, both political parties, both big parties are not showing that grace. But the BJP is winning elections. And the Congress is not. The business of a politician is to be in power. The business of a politician is not to remain a politician sitting at home. So when you say that Milind Deora or Scindia or person X or person Y wanted Rajya Sabha, of course they'll want Rajya Sabha. It is not their business to sit at home.
Yeah.
They're not sitting or, doing household chores or watching Netflix. They are politicians. Their business is to be political. So that, to my mind, is the essential problem with the Congress. And now, no matter who you hire, no matter what level of strategy you infuse, 2024, they stand no chance. I'm telling you now, I said this on your program almost 6 months ago, that it is not about Modi coming back. It's by how much. I don't obviously believe the 400 figure. That's a motivational speaker's figure. But there is no question in my mind yet again that the next Prime Minister of India will also be Narendra Damodar Das Modi. The question is, will the party split? Now, in the good old days, people would say the Gandhis are the glue. But it's quite apparent they're not. Because if they were the glue, so many people wouldn't have left. Not one of their allies is happy with them. Not one. And then they say, oh, but JDS is not clear, BJP is not. Arey bhai, aap apne ghar ki baat karo na. You worry about your own home. So those are the big, to my mind, contentious issues.
In fact, have you heard Sanjay Jha's comment that the Congress Nehru has now become the Congress Modi? I think that's what is happening to your question of whether the party will split, because that's what we're expecting. There has to be some regrouping minus the Gandhis, and it's all going to be grouped around Modi.
You see, as I said on Twitter, that how even Narendra Modi wouldn't have imagined when he said Congress Mukt Bharat would actually be a BJP full Congress.
Good one.
Because the Congress, Bharat has not been able to get rid of them, but the BJP has accepted all of them. And by the way, that is a big issue. And let me tell you why.
Wow.
You have to accommodate these people from outside. They have come on a bargain. They are transactional. They are not relational. The moment you accommodate them, what do you do to your own loyal cadres? It's typical, again, to use a corporate world example. When you hire someone from the outside, uski salary har waqt thodi zyada hoti hai from the person who's actually working his way up, which then upsets the apple cart. So that's something that the BJP also needs to worry. Bhai, aap logon ko loge, where will you accommodate them? As I said in another tweet, I said they might have to double the strength of Rajya Sabha because I don't see all these people going anywhere else. And they're all there, either for power or for protection. The two P's that are guiding India today is power and protection. It is not progress, it is not politics.
You've got Modi's habit of coining, or has he got
I'm actually advertising. Now, Modi though is taking away our, what should I say, karma bhumi ka kaam.
All the branding and the acronyms and the this.
Yeah.
So then how do you see the future of the Congress? Since today we're really focusing on the Congress, that everybody can't just leave and join. Will that happen? Then there's no pan-national party to oppose the BJP? Or will they actually, after this election, if the numbers fall or rise, they're not going to be double digits or triple digits, will they do away with the Gandhis? Will someone have that?
Yeah, I'm going to suggest if either of the Gandhi children want to preserve the legacy, and the mother gets rid of her patriarchal son phobia and son affection, if Priyanka Gandhi takes on the mantle, there's a chance. So she will tick two of the boxes. A Gandhi, two, fresh blood. And all said and done, Priyanka's far suaver and smarter than the brother.
Yes.
Far smarter. Now, people say, unki ladai ho rahi hai. I never get involved with all this sibling nonsense because blood is always thicker than water. And I'm not here to conjecture. If I were Rahul, I would drop out of the race. And all I would say is, this country, as I see it today, I don't think I can be part of the political mainstream because of inherent contradictions that I have with the way the country is headed. And I just step aside. See,
hasn't he done that in that sense? If you ask him,
he's still part of the party.
But he's still part of the party. Resign from the Congress, as in he's already said, I don't want to be prime minister.
Politics. He should leave politics. He should start an NGO called Better Governance for India.
You have a name for it also.
Yeah, BGFI, Better Governance for India. Started by Rahul Gandhi. The lineage is perfect. He can then say, my forefathers got us freedom. My grandfather did this. My great-grandfather did this. Wo aap bol sakte ho. But in its present form, Priya, whether we like it or not, the Congress is dead. And I'll tell you why it's dead. It may exist. It's that famous thing that I often use. Operation successful, patient dead. Operation aapka successful ho hi gaya. But your ultimate objective is what? To save the patient, right?
Correct.
So the party will exist. But in what form and in what substance? And with who? So either a Shashi Tharoor, who you did not allow to become president, if you remember, he was disallowed from becoming president because he didn't fit the Gandhi sycophantic quotient. So what do you do? And I'm only analyzing it from a strategy perspective. See, I don't care for any of these parties. For me, they're all the same. But what do you do in a situation such as this? And his constant attack on India, on the youth of India, on what India has achieved, the cynicism, the vitriol is now upsetting every Indian. They're saying, isko har waqt dukh hi dukh dikhta hai. You see, when a person takes cynicism to a fault line which borders on hatred, that becomes a problem. Because then people forget and people don't see you as objective. They don't see you as a critique. They see you as a critic. And there's a fine difference between a critic and someone who's critiquing. When you critique, it's with a view which is positive. Others are only finding fault. Today, he's become India's biggest fault finder. And you don't need that from a leader. A leader must inspire. A leader like Rahul Gandhi cannot every day tell me, wake up, everything is wrong. I don't need him to tell me that. But he's doing that. He's negating every good thing that has happened in India in the last 10 years. He's negating every progressive move that has been made by this government. And this government has made many progressive moves, whether you like it or not. Cut them some slack. Which is why I started my thing with you this evening saying he lacks grace and gravitas. Intelligence to hai kam. But when you lack grace and gravitas, it's a problem.
Okay, I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to come back and I want to just inform our viewers, Suhel, is sitting, I think, in New York. It's a late night for him, early morning for me. He's been through various numbers of flights, but I've never seen you in fuller form than this, Suhel. So I think maybe your jet lag or whatever it is suiting you. I'm the one who's having coffee, not you. On that note, quick break. We're going to come back for some more conversation. Hello and welcome back to a cover story conversation with Suhel Seth. Suhel, as I said earlier, I'm the one who's sipping coffee while you've been traveling all over the world and I can see no jet lag. But to get back to the conversation and the topic of Rahul Gandhi. So here is the opposition. If there is no Congress, then who will take on the mantle of the opposition? Because you need opposition. Do you see it being state specific and not a pan-India opposition then?
I think that's a great point. And I said this earlier as well. I said in an article, so what is happening in India today? The BJP is not your pan-national party. So let's not get into any of that baloney that they give, hum pure Bharat mein hai. Nahin. It is Bharatiya Janata Party for Northern India. It is not Bharatiya Janata Party for all of Bharat. It isn't, and they know it. The entire South, and I'm not even going to go there with that drivelous comment that Karti Chidambaram passed, the South has not been won and all that nonsense. No. The fact is, you do not have a pan-India party today. You have Bharatiya Janata Party, which is a dominant political force, and you have very strong regional parties. No one is going to vote an alliance. There's a very famous quotation by David Ogilvy. He says, when you go to a park, you don't see statues of committees. You see statues of individuals. The problem in India is there is no one individual to counter Narendra Modi. That is the problem. The mukhota isn't there. The pivot isn't there. The neave isn't there. The reed ki haddi is not there. Aap kisko chunenge? Who's that one person who can stand up to Modi? No one. So there is a pan-national leader, but there's no pan-national party. Whereas the Congress's irony was that it was a pan-national party without a pan-national leader. In fact, today, it's a pan-national party with an absolutely ridiculous leader. So what do you do? A, B. It isn't the job of the BJP to go shopping every morning looking for an opposition. But it is our job to worry that we are in a democracy which is without an opposition. But then we have to ask ourselves, do we change our modicum of thinking? Our thinking was there must be a central ruling party and a central opposition. That has gone. Modi said something very interesting when he took over in 2014. He talked about cooperative federalism.
Yes, I remember.
Correct? Where he said that the states would exert their own sets of power. And I think that came to him easily because he ran a state for so long. He understood the pains, the pressures, the tribulations, the trials of having to face up to a central government. Therefore, state parties have become very, very critical, which is why the friendship, the outreach, the the camaraderie between Naveen Patnaik and him. So you're seeing all of that. And Naveen Patnaik has said, Pandian on behalf of Naveen has said, that my chief minister believes in maintaining a healthy, cordial relationship with the center because he wants his work done. Go back 30 years, Priya. What did Chandrababu Naidu do? Exactly the same thing. In any alliance that Naidu was part of, when asked which ministers do you want, Naidu would only say, I want my choice of bureaucrats in the right place. Because he knew those are the guys who would get the work done. Whether IRDA, whether the Ministry of Finance, he got his people put there. Some say even judges. So that India is coming back. And Modi recognizes this. But Modi also knows that he's in an unassailable position as far as the pan-India leadership issue is concerned. Also, people see him. They see Rahul Gandhi also. But whenever they see Rahul Gandhi, he's in what I call a villainous negative role. This guy's always in good roles. One day he's inaugurating a dam. The other day he's walking in a tunnel which, thank God, didn't sink. On another day, he's doing darshan of Ram Lalla. He's inaugurating this. People are saying, "Yeah, ye to kaam kar raha hai." What is Rahul Gandhi doing? Screeching, angry. Even his visual optics are different.
But is it just optics? It has to also be more, that's what Rahul Gandhi and the Congress is saying, that is it just optics? That's just marketing?
No. In fact, let me tell you, some of the issues that the Congress is raising are very relevant. They're germane. But sometimes you have to also know how to raise the issue.
Yes.
It is very important in oratory to be able to speak and to be able to craft. If you do one and not the other, you fall flat. I mean, Cicero was not only about great speeches. You don't remember Nehru's voice because of a lack of baritone, but you remember Tryst with Destiny.
Right.
You don't remember Winston Churchill because of the tenor of his voice. You remember him for what he said. Give me blood, sweat, and tears, and I will give you freedom. Paraphrased by him of the original Netaji quote. So you have to understand that oratory is about inspiring people. Public speaking is about marrying craft and technique. You can't say that I have all the right points to make. It's like an idea. An idea, if it's not implemented, is never seen. It's like a ship in the night. It sails, no one sees it. So what do you want it to be? The Congress has raised some very critical issues. In fact, I think the Congress has raised some of the most responsible issues. But what the Congress is doing is, it's indulging in kite flying. Aapne ek issue liya, kite udai, chal bhai. Now let me move to the next issue. Leadership is about tenacity. Politics is about tenaciously digging on to the same issue, which, by the way, Modi does with great effect. Look at what, it's very interesting. Modi's actions may be bathed in religion. His utterances are always about development. Think about it. Everything he says, even in Ayodhya, when he talked about Ram Lalla, when he talked about the consecration, he actually talked about how UP would benefit, how Ayodhya would benefit. When he inaugurates the IIMs, the IITs, the airports, I mean, even Chidambaram admitted that Modi's skill lies in the execution of what he promises. Therefore, to the mass population of India, which has been used to these rascals postponing developmental work, Modi is a gift from heaven. And see how they manipulate and how they manage the optics. When Atal Setu was inaugurated, they kept talking. He based the idea to 63 years before hua tha. And it took a Modi to inaugurate. And he has told you, it's not that Modi is light. He said Manrega was the Congress's thing, but I did it. Aadhaar was their thing, but I did it. So he's showing himself in two ways. Decisive, progressive. Rahul Gandhi is showing himself in two ways. questioning everything that is purely progressive and questioning the Indian ability and the Indian capability of today, which is why people don't treat him seriously.
Sohel, I'm going to cut you because we are totally out of time. But thank you so much for this conversation. I really have nothing more to add except that we're going to keep these conversations going and watch this space more on the build up to 24. But thank you so much, Sohel.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.